Back with ECR's MD this morning, Nick. Nick, good morning.
Morning, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, really good, Nick. Good to be speaking. Big morning, of course, here for ECR. We've announced drilling permissions have been approved for a program at Creswick. It's a strategy we've used previously. We've seen some great results employing this method. Just tell us a bit more about the thinking for heading back to Victoria.
Yeah, of course, Andrew. We spoke a few weeks back. I think at the time I said Mike and I were just a few weeks into the job, and we were spending a bit of time doing some diligence on the portfolio and the opportunities that ECR had. Well, we're 2 months into the job now, and I can't really use that excuse anymore. So we've done that diligence. We've been through a lot of the historic data. We've taken some professional advice. We've taken advice, of course, from yourselves on the board and also other members of the team. And we're absolutely convinced there's a good opportunity in Victoria. And it's not just us. You would have seen, and other viewers will have seen, there's quite a lot of activity going on in Victoria. Perhaps most obviously punctuated by Southern Cross, who've put out three absolutely blinding announcements. The best hole, 7 intersections, I think all above 100 grams per tonne, one of them above 4,000 grams per tonne. Now, we're not predicting the same. It'd be crazy for me to make those sorts of predictions. And I think people know me well enough that I'm pretty conservative. But we have some good opportunities in Victoria, and it would be careless of us not to fully examine them. And that's very much what we're doing. And importantly, this is said in the announcement, we're not raising any more money for this. This is all covered by our existing cash balance. So this is all done under our existing resources.
Just for a bit more detail on the upcoming program itself, Adam joins us on site from Creswick this morning. Another beautiful day in Victoria. Morning, Adam.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew. I'm out here at a place called Cuboid Hill. It's one of the prospects we did a fair bit of soil sampling over last year, and we announced we had 3 anomalies in the soil of gold. I'm just out here to have a look at some proposed drill sites over this area.
Well, tell us a bit more, Adam, in terms of what's planned for this upcoming drill program and what we're targeting here.
We want to drill underneath those soil targets and see if there's any gold going down. So the idea is that I've described to people before about the method of shoots and high grade shoots. So the gold here is in pockets, and those shoots where they stick out of the ground, it creates the soil anomaly on surface. So the theory is that we'll drill underneath these and see if we can pick up on the shoot going down in depth, and that's what we're proposing to do here.
And what have you seen, Adam, in terms of visually from being on ground, kicking a few rocks out there? How's it looking?
Yeah, so there's plenty of quartz out here on surface. It's all the highly oxidized type quartz as well, which is always very favourable. You can actually clearly see too, there's evidence of local gold prospectors have been out here recently metal detecting on site here. And funny enough, our soil sampling guys, when they did the soil sampling here, they ran into a couple of them on the weekend, and they said that they've been finding little gold in quartz with their metal detectors here on surface.
So what, Adam, makes this upcoming drill program different to what was undertaken back in 2021? What are the key points of difference?
So grade is, I've always said that, grade is king. And, we already know from drilling back in 2019 that a lot of the gold here in Creswick is nuggety. So it's coarse gold. So your sampling method is key to success, really. And so, from the lessons we learned back in 2019 were that with the coarse gold, you might get literally 2 particles of gold, 2 little nuggets in your whole sample bag. And so when you test that sample at the lab, if they're only taking a proportion of that bag out to sample it, so you could easily miss the nugget, and all of a sudden that could kill the project. And so what we intend on doing is going back to that same style of sampling we did in 2019, and that's the bulk sampling with and using an RC drill rig to actually drill the hole. It's all about just getting grade first up, just to give confidence in the project and to give confidence that there is something potentially, hopefully economic here on these different prospects. So in 2021, the drilling we did then was we went back to diamond drilling, mostly just to get structural information And we focused on around where we did the previous RC drilling and along strike, just to give some confidence in the in what we call the Dimmick Shale, which is one of the major hosts for one of the quartz systems here in Creswick. You know, having said that, you know, we might do maybe a couple of diamond drill holes in the future, but first up though, it's just about getting grade, getting confidence that there is grade here, and the best way to achieve that is, you know, to RC drill it, get the bulk sample out, and to go from there.
And I suppose, Adam, all going according to plan, would you like to work up an exploration target at Creswick?
Yeah, so our proposed method of drilling here, drilling underneath these chutes and looking for the chutes. If it works out here from our drill program this year, we've got at least probably 10 or so more prospects in the pipeline that we've been soil sampling and rock chipping and whatnot, and it's all along strike of where I'm standing right now on Cuboid Hill. So we've got all these other prospects here that if the drilling works out and is successful, then we can apply that same method to those other prospects along strike. And so the target is to build up a resource over multiple of these prospects.
And so what's your expectation, Adam, in terms of timing for this program?
So the drilling, the good thing about RC drilling, it is quick, cheap and quick. And so once we start drilling, I'm hoping to have it over within 2 weeks. And then we'll have to process the samples. With the sampling, and we're hoping to have our first lot of results back from the lab in Q1. So just after the new year, some stage. That's our timing.
Cheers, Adam. Thanks very much. Well, I suppose that leads us on to another point. The board, myself included, can see the potential upside from this program. That's formed part of our decision-making, our thinking to extend the salary sacrifice into Q1 2024. So, Nick, another opportunity here to deliver further cost savings for ECR.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. And on behalf of shareholders, I'm very grateful to you and the board for seeing things that way. We're a young company. We're a small company. We've got a number of early stage projects. Cash is important. And I think what your decision, and perhaps also my own arrangements and Mike's arrangements when we joined ECR, demonstrate is that we're all prepared to put our money where our mouth is. We believe that there's a terrific upside opportunity. Hard work to be done for sure, and I've always said nothing's ever nailed on. There's a lot that needs to work in our favour. But I think the support that all members of the board are now giving by accepting remuneration in shares, hopefully demonstrates to shareholders what we believe, but also it saves the company cash, and cash is important. It's a tough market. It could be a long winter in the small cap market, and a sensible thing to do is to preserve cash, not only on board remuneration, but also elsewhere. And I tend to bore people by going on about my Scottish roots. In fact, it's in my DNA to save costs where we can. That doesn't stop. We will continue to look for opportunities to get the best value for shareholders, right across everything the company does.
You did say a bit earlier, before we cut to Adam, that we've got the existing capital to fulfil this program, plus a number of other commitments into 2024.
Well, we do. I mean, obviously, we raised some money back in September. And that was concluded when we did an EGM last month. We've also got a few assets within the company that we've announced in the past. They're either underutilised or unutilised, and we've started a programme to see if we can get value for them. And again, I'd emphasise this is not a garage sale. We're not just dumping assets on Gumtree left, right, and centre. But if we can get decent value for some of the unutilised or underutilised assets that we have, that will be recycled into the projects, and that's all about growing the company with the resources that we have to hand, rather than having to continue to go back to shareholders.
And Nick, well, look, no doubt we'll have further updates in due course over the coming weeks as a contract is secured. We announce some plans around what actually we'll be drilling, and of course the start of that program.
Definitely. Well, we'll always keep the market informed, and it's going to be a busy time, actually. A busy time for British winter and the Australian summer. So there's plenty to be getting on with.
Good to see you both. Nick, Adam, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew.